Okay, girls, come on now. Anything better than that? I'm going now. You don't say about me, you can say my neighbor nak tahu tentang ni. It's okay. I don't have to know. Come on now. Alright. Boys, then you get ready? Okay, so you want to know how do you maintain the momentum, because this is not for sprinter, this is for marathon runner. Because if you're going to live for another 70 to 80 years from now, you got to know where you're going heading. You got to know your journey and how you're going to prepare yourself. That's something that both of us will be able to share, the journey of our life, and you can look and see whether that makes sense for you. One more. Shall I pick, is there anyone by the name of Farhan here? Yeah. Come on, Farhan. What do you want to know?
Actually, my purpose of being here is to be able to discover my potential.
You want to discover your potential?
To further enhance my potential.
So you want to discover and then you want to enhance, make it better. Okay, that's good then, Farhan. I want to hear whether you have any Farah here. Come on, Farah. Alright, Farah, come on. No Farah? Come on. You see, actually I don't have to call the names, you know. Come on, Farah. You want to get out from your comfort zone. Yeah. Okay, laziness is one definition, but it's a complacent that you have. So how do you get out from that and maintain that? Okay, the boys, last one. Shall I call the name or shall you volunteer now? Zul Kefli, come on. Ada, okay. Adam. Okay, come on. Adam. See, for some reason, all the boys at the back are being picked, you know.
What was the question again?
Why do you want to get out from this session? What is it that you want to get out from this session? Because we have that topic.
I just want to know myself better.
Okay.
I want to know the limits to my comfort zone.
Whoa! You don't have to come here. You can go to Batu Cave and then read and that sort of things. But I'll tell you. Okay, girls. Now, what name do you want to call now? Can we call Siti? Is there anyone with Siti? Okay, we got A for Adam, A for Aisha. Okay, Aisha, come on. Okay, Aisha. Okay, so most of you want to know about yourself, want to discover who you are within this 1 hour. For so many years, you have not yet. But within this 1.5 hours, you're going to discover who you are. You're going to then write it down then, you know. You're going to write it down. So thank you very much. Give everyone a round of applause for that then. So, with this, let me give you a bit of who we are so that then the minute we know one another, then you could see and understand why we are here. We were born 55 years ago. I'm from North Impera and my wife is from Batu Pahat. And we studied in America. We were the last people who take the O level, which is called the MCE, Malaysian Certificate of Education. So I was given the opportunity to study mechanical engineering. How many people are going to take engineering? Girls, none of you. 1. Well done. 2. Okay. So, hang on to that. Mechanical engineer. Jamila, she went to Indiana. I was in California. So she's taking computer science. How many people are taking IT related? So no gamification for you guys? No one is doing coding, programming? Okay, interesting. So we were there, we came back after our studies, and I work as an underwater operations engineer in a multinational in Shell. That's what she said, and she works as a system analyst. So what happened is I continued my career as an engineer, moving from what they call the upstream exploration, and then slowly coming down. Once the oil is explored, they go to where? Chemical engineer, chemistry, where do you go? You go to the refinery. There was an engineer in a refinery. Then I went, that's where I discovered what I really enjoy. Rather than looking at engineering per se, when I have to look for pumps and compressors and all the different equipment, I switched my career to become HR manager and move to the downstream, which is the selling of oil in the petrol in the gas station. So because I knew that I had to do something which I really enjoyed. So first rule of trying to unleash your potential is find the passion in yourself. What are you passionate about? What is it that really going to make you awake in the night? When Ronaldo plays, so when Ronaldo is at the field, is he playing or is he working? Sorry? How many people say he's working? Because he's working now, right? He's working for the club. Which club is he in now? Real Madrid. Okay, is he working or is he playing? The trick is that find a job that you like and you'll never work for the rest of your life. That's my philosophy as an HR manager. I was passionate with how to unleash the talent of the human being, especially working in multinational. So I managed to then join. And do you know that? Whenever a Shell, because I was a recruiter, whenever I'm faced with students like you after you graduate 4 years, as a first class honors or second class upper, I will interview them. When I interview any of these students who's potentially going to join as a Shell executive in the company, you know how much does it worth to employ this person? Give me an idea. How much from the day they work until they retire 30 years later, you bayar gaji dia, you bayar EPF dia, you bayar medical dia, you bayar family dia, education and all those benefits and medical dia, how much do you think to bring this one student or one graduate into the company? Can anybody give a guess? How much the total cost? 20 years ago, the calculation is about 7 million per person in US dollar. So that shows that, no joke, we are looking for the best. Maybe some of you are exactly. So I worked in Shell. I was then cross-posted to Oman. In that opportunity as an HR person together with my family. So, and now I have left Shell 2010. I'm now doing both as a consultant. I'm a change management consultant. But I also joined up with my wife as the business partner in crime to do parenting talks locally and internationally. So we go to all over the world to give talks to parents and inspire youngsters like you to make sure that they know what kind of dreams do they have to unleash that and to have and maintain that momentum. We have 5 boys and 1 girl. The eldest is an engineer and the wife is pursuing her PhD in electrical engineering in America. We have a child, so we are grandparents now. This boy, he is by the way a computer application engineer. He does training for apps for Apple handphones. Okay, so the apps he will be doing the coding. So that's him. The second one, he is a businessman. So one of the things that I wanted to mention as a now he's a businessman. In those days, he was one that ran away from home. So one of his story is written by his mother in this book called Cool Mom, Super Dad. There are certain expectations you have about yourself that you want to do. And I want you to discover that as early as possible and you don't have to run away from anybody. Okay? The third one is Alia. So that's Alia first, the only girl. I think one of the things I wanted to mention Alia from a career perspective. Alia, she loves to do medicine. You know what would be the favorite movie series that Alia will be watching? Sorry? Yeah, Grey's Anatomy is one. The other one is House. And what book from Judy Pickle, right? That's very medical related. So what Alia loves, she loves medicine, but she also loves to doodle. She loves to draw. So she has a gadget and she's been drawing. When she's fresh, she draws. She drew lots of things. Even most of the books in the mother's book, she was the artist, illustrator. So in order to combine what does she wants to do, either as an illustrator or a medical doctor, she combined her career to become one. During her 4th year, before she graduated as a medical student, so she wrote this book, Performing Physical Examination for Pre-Clinical Students, to help her colleague and herself visiting the patient in the hospital. As an Edmond, using the Gen Y methods of being colorful, having all the guides and everything. So Alia is certainly has now in her houseman, and she continues to do illustration, drawings, and do lots of illustration to help the medical community. Safi is the number 4, sorry. So Safi is in computer, final year student. Safi loves language. She's taking international Japanese language. So one of the things that I want to seriously encourage for those of you going overseas to pick up language, because the better you are. There was one student in their school, Adeni, who mastered 7 languages. She's now in the Dutch in Holland, and she's doing one of the justice ministry because she is able to speak 7 languages. So again, it's become handy in your life to see your potential. Sharif is he discovered about himself a bit longer than everyone else. And what happened is that Sharif worked for us, have a homeschooling environment, so he's forced to study from home. But what he did was, when he studied at home, he discovered one of the things that he enjoyed most: reading books. He's a voracious reader, because when I and the family had a book reading competition, and whoever reads a book and write the titles of the book, and whoever has the longest title will win this book competition in the family 100 ringgit cash. So how many books did Sharif read? 482 titles. So he moved on. Of course, the following year, Safi read 523 titles, and then Alia worked so much, so they won the competition as we go along. But the point is that he discovered that, he realized what he enjoys, and then he came back to school at Form 3, did his junior school living education, and then from there he discovered that he enjoys the world of debating. So Form 5, he was the champion for the UIA debating competition. He's now UIA, and he just came back from the World University Debating Championship against the Oxford of the world and the Cambridge of the world, because of his thoughts of wanting to understand better on how to articulate your thoughts to others. So that's Sharif. And final one is Siraj. He's a cookiepreneur. He starts his career at 3 years old. Seriously. 3 years old, he enters his mother's laboratory. What is it called? Kitchen. You just don't know. So mix up all those stuff. So then his cookie, what happened was that, yeah, indeed, at 10 years old, his childhood friend went to South Africa, and then the family challenged him. The mother said, "Do you want to go to South Africa?" And he said, "Yes." I said to him, "We're not going to buy you any ticket. You're going to earn for this." So he started selling his cookies. The brother did it on the online. He went to talks and told people that, "Ladies and gentlemen, buy my cookies." Unfortunately, we didn't have any left. It was sold out yesterday. And he said, "I'm going to visit my friend." So at standard 6, he managed to purchase the flight from KL to Johannesburg, returned 4,000 ringgit cash. So he moved on from cookiepreneur, but by the way, he still was schooling at Form 1, and he hired a part-time. He had a business card for people who wants to get his cookies. He moved on from being a cookie to become a letterist, again discovering himself that he feels is good with his hand. He then moved on from letterist to become a graphics designer, and now he moved on to become an illustrator. So he started his foundation in MMU, but he has a job with a company in Colorado, hiring him to be the illustrator, paid in US dollar, but working from home. I'm telling you this story not because I want to share, because I think, and by the way, he's about your age. He's 18, right? Yeah, he's 18. He's 18 now. So what I wanted to do is that you know best about you to discover who you are. If you don't know that now, then you better start going to think hard, because I'm telling you, you have a long way in the journey of your life. Because when I discovered, and in fact, Jamila, she changed her career after she left, and what she did was moving from the different locations. So she took up I asked her the same question. What is it that you will enjoy most, that you are being very passionate about? So she's inspired by this lady called Adiba Amin, who wrote this in the New Straits Times article commentary called As I Was Passing. That was inspiring her to become an author. So not only she completed her computer science with double major in mathematics, subsequently she took diploma in translation. Then she came and joined me. She took distance learning on creative writing, and also journalist from London School of Journalism on a long distance. She came back and then she pursued her psychology in Health University, where I pursued my master's in industrial and occupational psychology. Now, there's one thing I want you to take it from both of us. Learning never stops. Never stops. I took my certificate. You know, when you become an engineer to HR, completely different profession, by the way. Completely different skills. So I had to do night classes. I go to weekend classes. I had to take exams, prepare project papers. So now I'm telling you, if you think that intact is where your next stop is going to the university, it's not your next stop, ends. It's just the beginning. So, okay, we have been married for the last 32 years, so we have the rest of the other books which I will let you know. But one thing for sure that I want you all to remember, life is about a lifelong learning education, not because of others. You might do this because of your parents, or you might want to prove to your friends, but it is to prove to you what you can do different, because each and every one of you are unique and has its own specialty. Your job is to discover that uniqueness, unleash that uniqueness, and once you discover, you give back. Because that is the meaning of receiving this uniqueness from yourself. So, I want you now to start thinking, so just talk to your partner again. What is your dream and ambition that you have? By the way, the lecturers can also do, you know, because I think they have their own other dream. I think lecturing is maybe not really You need to inspire. Maybe you are the Nobel Prize winner, future, you know, the most dedicated. Okay, I want you now, I want to get a few volunteers now. I sincerely now do not expect to call names, right? But you don't need to tell about what you want. You can say my partner, and you don't have to show which are your partners, by the way. So it's remain anonymous, right? I have this partner, he wants to be this. But it doesn't matter now whether it's a career base or it's something that, you know, whatever dreams you have then. Shall we start with the lecturers? No, I spared that, don't worry. For the girls now, we start with the girls now, right? Okay, is there a volunteer now? It's not about you, he said, this is my partner. Okay? The lady with that window. Yes. Come on now, let's listen to her dream now. You know what I wanted to know? No, pass the mic to this. Can get the MC just now to just usher the mic. So that now, before you answer, can I ask, does anyone who in this room doesn't have an ambition or a dream? Serious? Everybody has a dream and ambition. Okay, I now will expect that you're going to say something about this. Because now I know no one doesn't have. Now let's start with this. Give her a round of applause. Fantastic. Up to you. You can have a choice.
Hello. My dream is to become a dentist because I have had this ambition since I was small, and my family actually consists of doctors and dentists, so I get my inspiration from them. So their career inspires me to become a dentist too.
All right. Okay. Give her a round of applause. Anyone now? 5 years, 6 years from now, you have a teeth problem, you know who to go, okay? She can check your free of charge. By the way, are you giving free of charge service of dental and nice? Okay, so you don't know, not free. Oh, okay, you got to pay back, okay? Get the mic to the boys now. So I know you have dreams, boys. I know you have ambition. You're so eager to say something.
I'm not.
Okay. Now I pick you up. Sorry. Either you or your friend, don't worry. So that will not make it easy for you.
What's my dream? I forgot. Top-tier geologist.
Top
Tier geologist.
tier geologies. Wow. Of all the things, it's a geology. Is there a why behind this geology?
I don't know. I find it interesting.
Okay, so looking for rocks, you fall in love with rocks, sedimentary rocks, all the rocks that and then there are different level of rocks, limestone rocks and all the rocks.
Yep.
That's rock, man. Rock. Now, the thing that I wanted to say, whatever you want to be, because you want to hold that momentum, find that meaning. Have you spoken to a geologist, by the way? Have you been to a country where there are rocks like Oman?
Yes.
Have you been to a museum that shows different kind of rocks?
Yes.
And you spend hours looking for rocks like people looking for playing games and searching for Pokemon. So your job now is to find that rocks. You see my point?
Yeah.
Okay, give a round of applause there, you know. Okay, one more. Okay, one more, girls. Come on, girls. Please, you know, get it out from your chest. Those who declare stand a better chance to achieve it. I'm telling you now. Any one of you? I have to choose the MC now. No, I just picked you, sorry. So what would be that?
Okay. Well, my dream, I'm actually taking law right now.
Oh, okay. He's taking law and because of?
I just like to defend people when they're in the wrong.
So law sometimes you may defend people who are wrong or may not be wrong.
Who are innocent.
Okay, who are innocent. Okay, well done now. And I think the point I wanted to say is give him a round of applause. Those people who sit in the corner. Anyone? Has the courage to take this. It may not be you, it may be your friend. Just spit it out.
My ambition is to be a doctor, but my real dream is to be a pilot. Yeah. So maybe
Why
I'm
not
flying
both?
doctor. Yeah. Maybe both. Inshallah.
Yeah. Okay. That's great, man. You know, Alia's colleague, one of them, a guy, he completed his engineering discipline, graduated, but he felt that he wants to help people, So now taking further on his studies as a medical student. We had a National Geography photographer who took fantastic photography of the stem cells of people using very minute type of technology. You know what? Guess what? At the age of 50, he decided to become a medical doctor. From a photographer to a medical doctor. Can you see that mind-blowing? Because why? Because in the world of Disney, this guy, you know Walt Disney, right? What does he say? It's about dreams. All our dreams can come true if we, there's the self-empowerment coming in now, if we have the courage to pursue them. It's not about the lecturers, it is not about going to UK, it is not about going to that university, it's about you wanting to pursue that dream that is burning in you ever since you were born. That is the one that is going to make you and be able to see that you can realize it because it's inside you. No one can take it away. No one can take it away as a human resource person and a trainer as well as a facilitator in me. I take responsibility of my own development and professionalism. The rest I will get support from the lecturers, from my coach, from my mentors, from my supervisor, from my bosses, and from my directors. But at the end of the day, who's in the driving seat? Me. I know some of you may have the dilemma now of I'm taking this career because this is what my mother wants me to take. This is what my father has been dreaming about. Because your father has been dreaming to become the lawyer, you know. So but he can't be the lawyer, so I must get one of my son or child. Now be very clear and honest to yourself so that then you have that conversation and dialogue so that then you know what exactly that can make or break in terms of what are you achieving. So let me move on now and pass to Jamila because she's going to share a story of a person who's so inspired and hopefully we can learn something from him. Welcome now, Jamila.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, everybody. I'm really happy to be here. Now, before I move on, can we give a big round of applause to Encik Ahmad Fakri for having raised our spirits, I would say. Wouldn't you agree? Right. There is this fellow that I would like to introduce to you. Have you heard of this person before? No? Well, he was introduced to me, right? Not in person, but at least online, some years ago, and how I was really inspired when I learned about him. His name is Richie Parker. When you see his photo, what do you see there? You see a baby. What in particular do you see about this baby? He has no hands. Does any of you know anybody in particular, in person, who has no hands? No? Have you ever met a person who has no hands? Maybe we have seen one person without one hand, isn't it? But it's really rare to see, let alone meet or know personally anybody who does not have both hands. But this is a real guy. And I'm going to show you a video to prove that he is alive and he is doing well. Something that I sincerely hope you will find truly inspiring, just as I have. one with the shipment of voice, a commentator.
I couldn't go to college and graduate. I don't listen too much to people when they tell me I can't do something. There's not a whole lot that's going to stand in my way. There were a lot of people that when I first started at Hendrick Motorsports, they had no idea what I could do and what I was going to do there. I have some guys that I'm good friends with now, and they told me that when they heard I was coming, and when I first got there, their biggest thing was, well, what is he going to do?
Hendrick Motorsports is the most winning organization in NASCAR. From Jimmy Johnson to Jeff Gordon to Dale Earnhardt Jr. For any engineer drawn to racing, it's the elite destination.
We need to have more clearance there for a while. All right.
For Richie Parker, it's been the job for the last 8 years. As a vehicle engineer at Hendrick, Parker designs chassis and body components for all 4 of its race teams and does all his design work the way he does most everything, with his feet.
It's very demanding. When we have somebody like Chad Knaus that comes back from the racetrack and he says he needs something next week that's going to help him win a race, then no is never the answer.
Richie Parker was born in May 1983 in the coastal town of Beaufort, South Carolina. Right away, his parents knew something was wrong.
He said that was a little issue, a complication, that with the baby, and I said, what? And naturally, I think he moved me a little to the side and said the baby did not have arms. And I just was sort of dumbfounded, like, what do you mean?
Doctors told the Parkers the abnormality was the result of a non-genetic birth defect, creating bilateral amelia, a limb deficiency.
I'm thinking, how are we going to get through this? How would he eat? How would he open doors? How would he do just the normal day-to-day things? Once I saw Richie, there was no question after that.
He was the cutest baby. You know, he was the cutest little boy. After about 5 minutes, it was, when can I take my kid home? Just give him a kid.
We wanted his childhood to be as close to any other child's childhood as possible. That's always been our attitude. We are going to make it work. We might just do it differently, but it will work.
We put this on the door, and I can grab onto it like this with my shoulder and pull it out.
There were always things around the house that made it so that I didn't need to ask somebody else for help to do it. And that was always important to me. I had 2 parents that from day one tried to make it so that my life was, I guess you could say, as normal as possible, whatever normal is.
This came off a larger bike, somewhat like a beach cruiser. The other kids in the neighborhood had bikes. Well, we're just gonna ride a bike. And we understood some of the dangers. We got long handlebars and bend it up and then bend it out, and we welded a bar across from one handlebar to the other. And after that, he rode the bike with the other kids in the neighborhood. And he was just a kid riding his bike.
As a teenager, Richie's sense of independence found its sharpest focus in cars.
I always wanted to drive. I was told by a few different people, well, if there's a bus in your area or if there are taxi cabs, then that's all you need to do. You just use that as your transportation. But that just wasn't me.
When he was 15, Richie spotted his dream car, a 1964 Chevy Impala SS. Parkers convinced the owner to sell it. 15 years later, it's still Richie's ride.
If the bicycle gave him a certain degree of freedom, the car, I think, gave him a great amount of independence and pride. When he's in that car, Everybody's on the same level.
In truth, Richie's entire life has been one remarkable study in engineering.
We're going to put food, we're going to put a hand for the third, and that's what we use for the nourishment of our bodies. Amen.
Nearly every task requires ingenuity.
I can't say there's anything that I can't do. I don't know that there's a whole lot of life period that I could say that I can't do. Just things that I haven't done yet.
That attitude carried Richie to his current job at Hendrick.
I think I had about 20 resumes that I went through before I settled on Richie's. I knew he could do the things that I needed him to do. It was more a question of how.
We've got a few updates that we're making to this fixture to make some of the parts more durable and more adjustable than it is currently.
We sat down and he showed me how he works on the computer and how he does his design work. I write with my right hand, you write with your left hand. He happens to write with his feet.
Parker's initial internship with Hendrick was supposed to last 10 months. 8 years and 5 championships later, he's still here. How do you get through your day? Make it from one place to another, one task to the next. Don't ask Richie Parker. He's already moving on down the road.
Just never satisfied. It's what drives me. I don't know where it comes from. Sometimes it kind of drives me crazy, but it's how I live my life.
Did you enjoy that video? What did he say at the end? Drives me. But it drives me crazy, isn't it? So that's what we call motivation. It's internal motivation, right? And I feel that people like him is truly blessed. People like him are truly blessed when they feel that drive inside them. But in your opinion, what do you think made him that kind of person? What made him successful? Can we agree that he's successful? Very, very much so, isn't it? It's so inspiring, especially inspiring because he has to rise up to challenges given the way he was born, and he does not have things that we take for granted, right? But I feel that in terms of spirit, in terms of motivation, in terms of personal drive, he really puts a lot of us to shame, right? He really puts us to shame. But what do you think makes him successful? Anybody would like to try? Is he just plain lucky? Is he just fortunate? Would you say that he's very, very fortunate? Okay, he got a job in this company, where they produce engines for cars that are in the fast lane. Well, he's just been lucky. But you heard his boss just now that there were about 20 resumes, and he's the one who was different. I mean, if you were to look at all the 20 or so people who actually applied for that job, anybody could say that he is the least likely to get a job. How is he going to use the computers and this and that? Because they are just made for the normal people. And he is, you could say, abnormal, isn't it? So he's the least likely. And yet he got a job. And not only he got the job, he did it absolutely in an awesome way. Isn't it? So when you look at such people, and we look at ourselves, who are we not to achieve, not to get motivated, to do whatever we want to do? Because basically we have all these resources. Are you familiar with the word resources? All the resources within ourselves. So again, what makes you so successful? Nobody has the answer? Yes? His passion. His passion, isn't it? He has the passion, he has that drive. How long was that movie? How long was it? About 5 minutes, about a few minutes, but how long was the journey from the time he was born to the shock, the initial shock that his parents experienced, seeing what kind of baby they had, until he got a job, until he was able to prove himself? How long was it? Many, many years. And what kind of person does he have to be able to do what he has been doing? From here, right? It's from here. If you were to imagine the many, many years that he spent growing up, do you think that everybody would have said, oh, come on, Richie, come, we will help you. You know, you poor boy, come, let us help you, because you didn't have hands, you didn't have this, you didn't have that. But is it more likely that there will be people who teased him along the way, who said he's not going to achieve anything, who belittled him, who made him feel small? There will be people like that, isn't it? A lot of people, in fact. And sometimes it's not just people who are just being mean. There are people who mean well, but did not think that he would achieve too much just because he was the way he was. But then again, he proved everybody wrong because he believed in himself. So, here are just some reasons. Believe in himself. He was independent, he was creative and innovative. And he doesn't give up easily, and he learned from mistakes. Can you see the parts where he actually fed himself? It was so creative, isn't it? And when you look at it, it's not like he needed thousands of dollars to create that thing. But what he needed was to apply himself. He spent time to think, how can I do it this way? How can I do it that way? And remember what he said, I don't think there is anything that I couldn't do. There's nothing that I couldn't really do. It's just a matter of doing it differently. Okay? It's just a matter of doing it differently. And that is actually the mindset. The mindset of people who are successful, who set themselves apart from other people. They don't really follow the crowd. Right? And when we were to look at how Richie looked at himself, maybe he wanted to prove himself. Maybe he wanted to make his parents proud. Right? Maybe he just thinks that this is what God has given me. And if God gave me as such, that means that I am meant to do well in life as such. And that's where his source of strength is. Because he knew that, well, I'm not the majority, I'm different, but I'm going to do well anyway, because I know that I have the brains, I have the strength. It's just that I have to do things differently, right? Now, this is why the dream is the strongest motivator. Do you recall what he said when he was small? What did he like to do? He loves cars, right? He loves cars. And he likes to tinker with engines, with mechanical things. And his parents actually provided the support, right? So you have to actually ask yourself, who are my best supporters? And I believe that all of you do have very supportive parents. Yeah, maybe there are cases where you might not have those kind of supportive parents, but most of us do have parents who are really supportive, truly, sincerely support us throughout our journey. So that is that he always dreamed of tinkering with cars, and it's just beyond. Can you imagine? He could have just been another mechanic, isn't it? Another mechanic, and in an obscure workshop somewhere. But he goes beyond. He goes beyond that. It's like one of the one of the most privileged. If you work in that kind of company, you are most privileged. You have got to compete with so many people. But I just want to mention this, that at the end of the day, what you want to achieve, the why that you want to achieve has got to be beyond yourself. It's not just about Money is not because you want people to praise you. You have got to have this sincerity that you want to do well, because you realize that that is how you contribute towards humanity, right? Do you know why that's important? Do you know why you shouldn't be, I mean, everybody wants a lot of money, isn't it? And money buys us a lot of things. Maybe the great, the most beautiful dress, the boots or whatever you want, especially now that you are going abroad, you do need the money. But it cannot be your end. It cannot be your goal. Because one day you will realize that after a certain level of money that you earn, it's not going to earn you more happiness. It's not going to earn you that life satisfaction. It's when you contribute towards people's well-being, then you become happy and satisfied with life. What is the proof? The proof is all around us. There are people who have lots of money, but because they are into fame and they are into making just a name for themselves, they cannot find meaning. Right? The movie stars, for instance, some of them actually end up committing suicide. Because, I mean, there are movie stars and there are movie. I mean, I'm not saying that movie stars are bad, but if you really go for that, money alone is not going to grant you happiness and well-being and satisfaction. So you have to really search deep inside and make sure why you want to be successful in the first place. Okay, there are 3 things here. This is quite straightforward. How do you realize a dream? There are 3 things. Can you guess? Anybody? Okay, the first one is, what is, sorry? Knowledge, yes. The second one is? S? No, nobody knows? Skills. And the first one is? Attitude. What do you think is the most important? Attitude. Because you can have all the knowledge you want in this world, you can have all the skills, but without the right attitude, you're not going to go far in life. Okay? Now, from dreams to SMART goals. Do you know the difference between dreams and SMART goals? Can anybody tell me what is the difference between dreams and SMART goals? If I say I want to be, okay, one of those days, okay, when I was young, this is a very quick story on how I became an author. When I was young, I came from a poor family actually. And this is perhaps, for some of you find it difficult to relate, because I know that some of you might be born with what they call a silver spoon. You know what a silver spoon means? That means everything is already laid out for you, okay? So, my father, who was a bus driver, alright, he used to buy the English newspaper, New Straits Times. And there was this column called As I Was Passing by Adiba Amin, right? And I used to read that column and I told myself, it inspired me so much. At that time I was just a teenager, maybe around 13, 14 years old. And I told myself that one day I want to become a writer, right? Now, maybe you think, I'll read newspaper, so what's the big deal? It is a big deal, right? In those days, because if you don't earn much, if your money is just enough to get food and to pay the bills, it is a lot to actually buy newspaper, an English newspaper. But having said that, becoming a writer was not something that was encouraged in those days, Journalism wasn't something that was encouraged. You either become an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant. So I actually studied initially engineering, and then I moved to mathematics and computer science. It was much later that I moved to journalism, right? So really, you have to, okay. So what is the difference between dream and SMART goals? If I say I want to be a writer, that's a dream. But what is the goal? The goal is something that is more tangible, that is something that, you break down, okay? You break down. Let's say you have a dream. A dream is something that, okay, you don't know when you're going to achieve that. You don't know how many hours you're going to spend to achieve that dream. But when you write it down, for instance, I want to be a writer, or I want to be a chemical engineer 5 years now, and I want to work in a multinational company, for instance. Okay? So that becomes a goal. You see the difference between a dream and a goal now? So basically, a dream is something there, but when you say a goal is something like a table. You put legs on your table. So it becomes something that you know how much effort, how much time you have to invest in to achieve that. Okay. Dream, some bad examples. I want to be rich and famous. I want to be smart and kind like my father. Okay? And let's see some examples of good goals. I want to set up a world-class center for women and abused children in Ipoh by 2030. There is a timeline. I want to be an international author of a book about living your dream by age 30. Okay? You get the idea? Alright.
Okay, we're gonna go for some quick exercise game now, but before we go through that one, I just wanted to share with you and highlight to you the concept called self-empowerment, because it came out in the title. So, did you see that photo just now? What does it show? There's a cat or there's a lion? Is it the lion looking at the cat or the cat looking at the lion? It's your choice. If you say it's a cat, then it's a cat. If you say it's a lion, it's a lion. Because if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. Because self-empowerment is about you taking control of your life. You set your timetable, when do you want to study, to complete that assignment. You set the smart goals and target, and make that positive choice. But yes, you need to understand what is your strength and what is your weaknesses. Because otherwise, how can you empower yourself to do the best? And you believe in yourself. That's what Richie Parker tells us. Betul tak? Richie Parker tells us, with all the limitations, with all the things that is short and the constraint and the obstacle, I can do it because he believes in himself. We're going to start this exercise now. Does anybody have that paper plate? No. Come on now, get the paper plate now, quickly. And do you have the pen? You have the pen? You have your pen? You got your pen or your marker? Alright? Give your paper plate first. Give your paper plate. Okay, this is going. Pass it around very quickly. Come on now. We don't have all this. I have another 26 minutes and 20 seconds. Alright. What I want you to do now, I want you to state your career by saying that start. I want to be. Then you start writing what you want to be. What a SMART target means is specific, is measurable, that is time bound. So I want it, either you put that as the age of 24, 25, 26, or you put the year. That's how specific I want you to be. And I want to know why. I want you to write the why there. Okay, you can start writing now. Start writing now. Start. You say all of you have your dreams and ambition, right? Start writing it now. I am also opening the thing to the lecturers now to probably state their own career dreams now. Can become entrepreneur. I will become the best, the world recognized lecturer. This is your own work, boys. I see empty plates. Come on. You have to have a date. Oh, you don't have plates. Oh, I heard you don't have plates. No, take. Give them the plates. Come on. Kau dah tak ada plates ni. You don't need a lot of plates. You need one plate. You got one career. So difficult. Guys, you're writing history, by the way. You are writing your own history now. For the first time ever in your life, you are taking charge of your destination. No one else. Not the lecturer, not your mom. Any mom here? Anybody has their mom here? Dad? Or you want to call them via WhatsApp? Mom, what do you think my career is going to be? No, this is yours. 2 minutes from now, silent. Anybody caught copying will be disqualified. Yes. You don't have a, my God, you know where's the cakes? Can I boomerang it to you? I give you extra cakes. How come you're not writing your own history? Everybody else is doing that. You cannot miss this opportunity. 4 or 5 minutes, Shah Alam time. 6th of January 2017, I'm crafting my history. Take that WhatsApp afterward and send it to your mom, man. Come on. Send it to your loved ones. I don't think you all have boyfriends and girlfriends. I think. I might be wrong. One more minute. I want dates or age. I want why. That why must be really deep, very strong. It's so rooted in, anchored in your mind and DNA, why you want to be that. You don't have a plate? Oh my God. Who says that? Something is not. Come on, the MC is not helping me. Okay. Those who got their plates, just run it now very quickly. Okay, lecturers, are you ready? Are you ready for the moment of truth? Okay. How many people have not finished? Everybody is done? Except for those, right? Okay, that one I give some injury time. But don't injure yourself. Just finish it off. Because you're going to see now. I want to know who says they want to be in the medical profession. Can you please all stand up? Medical profession, doctors, orthopedic, dentist. Take the photo, nanti diorang see their mind. Medical, anything, radiographer, nurse, anything in the world of medicine. I'm telling you now, this is the secret by one of the medical lecturer in my Alias University. Those who wants to be doctor are seen to be very good with their family. Why? Because they can connect and engage with people. Because you, according to Alia, she said after 3rd year, they go to the hospital, jumpa dengan apa khabar makcik, apa khabar tu, sakit kat mana ya? And if you are not good with people, then you are lost. Because medicine is not about the disease, illness. You have to know that, granted, but it's the people. the people that give that hope. Okay, how many? Cardiologist. Mana cardiologist? What is it that you want to be? Cardiologist. Okay, tell me why. Give me the mic now. Get the mic to this cardiologist now. I want to hear the cardiologist. Okay. Give them a round of applause. Get the cardiologist to speak why they want. Okay, I want to listen this because I'm very clear in my mind. Because I'm going to now set you into a different pathway. Come on, cardiologist. Tell me now. How many berapa? How many of them now? Just general count. Ada dalam 20, 50 lah. Okay, cardiologist speak.
Okay, first, my name is Muhammad Afi, and at the age of 26, I want to be a medical doctor, and inshallah, at the age of 35, I think I will be a specialist in about heart, which is cardiologist.
Okay.
Well, we see diseases relating to heart is getting very increasing nowadays, so I want to help those people, and our country does not have lots of specialists in this field, and I want to be one of them. Actually, a good one, not just someone that know about that but don't practice them in their life.
Okay, you got your first aid kit in your dorm or not? First aid kit. Can you become the first aider or not? Do you in your house appoint yourself as a medical officer or not? Have you watched the house or not? That's my question now. When you go and see, you have to have that passion. Right or wrong? Doctors, do you know that one mother for the child, doctor dia dah belikan baju and dia letak dekat pintu bilik anak dia, Dr. Alia. Every day the girl will see entering the room, Dr. Alia. That's how you burn, you set the fire in yourself. Because no one is going to do that but you. That's my point now. I want to see now the specialist from the girl side. Come on, can I get one girl now to just volunteer? Hold on, doctors, can you please still stand up? Anyone volunteer? Come on. I want to hear the fire now. Fire me. Come on, doctors. Yes. Give her a round of applause. I love to see people, youngsters, take challenge.
Hi, my name is Ira.
Ira.
Yeah.
Dr. Ira.
Inshallah.
Okay.
I want to specialize in obstetric and gynecology by the time I'm 35.
By the time?
I'm 35.
35?
Yeah, at least.
ONG specialist?
Yeah.
Well done. Give her a round of applause. Let me tell you one more thing. If I wanted to relate to you, my cousin, she's the ONG specialist and she got the top medal when she completed her masters. She's now going to focus to even more specialization in ONG, to become an ONG specialist in oncology, which is for cancer patients, for women. So that's why I'm stretched. Now I want you, where do you want to be? When you work, where do you want to work? As a doctor? Clinic? Yes, where is it? Where? Dubai. In Dubai. So now we are the Dubai. Where's your ini apa nama dia? Ini keadaan section 17. Good start, ya.
Ini Anastasia?
Anastasia, okay. Good start.
Anastasia dentist.
Ya, okay. Bersaudara di mana? Where? Come on. You've got one in Dubai now. Where are you opening your clinic now?
Paris.
In Paris. Now, okay, listen to me now. I'm stretching you one level now. I want one of these doctors to become the top most surgeon for the entire world, to be the referred doctor in this world. Can you take that challenge? That's my stretch. Because otherwise, you just become one of the statistics. How many doctors are available graduated in Malaysia? I'm stretching you because you have your own power of dream now. Yeah? You know, when I was talking to one young boy in an orphanage, he's from Ceratin, Kuantan, Pahang. Anyone from Pahang? Kemerluk. Yeah. You know what he says? He did the same thing. He wrote the same thing. He said, I want to be the muazzin of Kampung Gua Cempedak in 2023. Good target? Yes. I said, okay, I'm happy. But I want that target to be stretched. I want now you to stretch that target further to say that I want to be the muazzin for the Makkatul Mukarramah, where my voice will be heard at the Prophet's place in Madinatul Munawwarah. He himself was shocked. Okay? Doctors, thank you very much. You can sit down now. I want to see the engineers to stand up now. The engineers. The engineers, come on engineers. No engineers? Okay, ladies, very good now. Engineers. Okay. Mechanical engineer, raise your hand. Okay. Electrical engineer, raise your hand. Okay. Civil engineer, raise your hand. No civil. Okay. Bina banyak rumah tau. Civil engineer, rumah, jambatan, jalan, highway, all those things, you know, the rail track now from Kuala Lumpur to Paris is something that you may want. Okay, aerospace engineer. Wow. Okay, chemical engineer. Now I can get this chemical to tell me what is it, why you want to be the engineer. Come on now.
I would like to be an engineer because I started to love chemistry and physics since I was Form 4. Then I pursued to study here for my A-level to further more about engineering because I want to learn more about chemistry deeply.
So this is chemical engineering because you love chemistry.
Yes.
May the force be with you. Because if you have that passion inside you, no one is going to take away. Thank you, engineers. You can sit now. I'm now seeing now the accountant, finance institution. So of all the people who work, these are the only two bankers we have, finance people. Come on, okay. Oh, okay. Ladies, none of you? 1, 2, 3, all right. Okay, now tell me now, in your banking, finance, all these things, if any of you want, saying that you are going to become CFO, what is CFO? Chief Financial Officer. Anyone has said that, CFO? Okay, now change your mind. Do you want to be CFO or not of a company? Okay, CFO, you want to be CFO. Which company is CFO? Yeah. Be CFO, which company? Okay, tell me now, what will be the benchmark of a well-known company? Searching you.
Maybe Google?
Okay, he is going to be the first Malaysian CFO that works in Google. Okay, do you know where is the Googleplex? Do you know where is the Googleplex?
Google what?
The Googleplex, which is the office headquarters of Google. Not Microsoft.
America.
I know it's in America. The least you should know. Sure? But I know Microsoft is in Seattle. Bill Gates is there. Yeah? Googleplex, I think is in California, near Cupertino, where they got San Francisco. Or something. Sorry? Silicon Valley, which is there. Okay, thank you now, engineers. I want to move now to the engineers. Architect, anyone architect? Why architect? Why don't you join the doctors and the engineers?
Because I want to be different.
Okay. Help us to understand how you can be different.
Because architect is something that you must have a dream, that you must dedicate your whole life into
Which building are you going to build, an architect?
Inshallah, around the world.
So you're going to be the architect that tour around the world, and so you know what is the best well-known architect in the world, or at least in Malaysia?
Hijaz Kasturi maybe.
Hijaz Kasturi, the one that built Tabung Haji. Well, that's Hijaz Kasturi. Who built the nest for the Olympic Stadium in China? Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
You need to Google that one, but because these are the ones, because these are the giants, these are the people that you're going to step onto their shoulder so that you can see far beyond the infinity of what this architecture profession is going to offer to you. Thank you, architect, and well done. I need lawyers now. I need lawyers. Legal profession. CSI. No? MC, I know, lawyer. Guys, who's going to protect you? I mean, when you... Okay, at least we have a red... Okay, lawyer coming. Okay. So, advocates. Okay, now, where's your office? Where's your office? Where's your office? Your legal office? Where?
In Putrajaya, inshallah.
Putrajaya. So, who's your favorite author as a lawyer?
I haven't actually got an interest into reading books about law yet, but will come soon.
Okay. For me and my wife, we love John Bishop, who's a lawyer, world international author with his legal profession. He wrote books, The Time to Kill. So many other books that he has written that we keep a collection of it. So those are the things that really going to spark your interest. Thank you, lawyers. Thank you very much. I won't ask you more. Now, for the line, can you please stand up? I know there must be some footballers, some artists, some businessmen. Come on. So, geologists, geologists. It's okay. Very quickly now. What do you want to be? A geologist. And you? Geologist. Graphics designer. Okay. Geologist. Yeah, geologist. Do you know that being geology is about looking at the creation of the creator? Yeah? Because it has its own power. Anyone else here? You want to be the boss of Johor Corporation? Okay, you want to be the boss for Johor Corporation. Can I ask you to take one more step to become equivalent to Tony Fernandez or Richard Bronson? Asia, CEO, you become a CEO, right? So CEO of Johor Corporation is your first level start. I want you to make now for a regional CEO, and I want you to move to become the global first lady Muslim women CEO in the world. Do you know who is the chairman, chairperson and president of Pepsi Cola? Indra Nooyi from India. She's a CEO. Check out dia dalam YouTube. See how she speaks. The passion in her trying to live up. Who is the best nanotechnologist in the world? Currently based in Singapore. She's a Taiwanese. Okay? 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 Okay. So you're going to have to franchise other Malaysian food, but not only in Johor, not only in Malaysia. So you got a franchise when I go to San Francisco, when the lecturer goes to Shanghai, when your lecturer goes to Vancouver, your restaurant will be there. Inshallah. You know why I want you to be inspired like this? When I gave the same talk to the Kampung Penari in Terengganu, which is a village of Nelayan. If you know in Terengganu, Kampung Penari. I had the same session like you. One boy, very young, 5 years, standard 5, and he wrote a very powerful and inspiring ambition. From the son of a fisherman, he raised the occasion to become the astronauts for the first person from Terengganu. I salute for those who have this big, audacious goal, because it's really you are the one who's going to deliver it. Thank you very much, and give everybody a round of applause. Because now, in the next final moment, you're going to watch now how a boy, just about your age, giving and showing the power of his dream to deliver a smart goal that inspires, more importantly, he impacts the world. I know you're going to impact Shah Alam, Section 17 with your clinic. I know you're going to impact Johor because you love Johor. I know you're going to stop over at Dubai. But the world is waiting for all of you. Because the world knows that there is something inside you, just like this boy. So watch this boy. And he is, just now was the parent, but this one is his teacher. Are you ready? His name is Houston LaChapelle. Have you heard about him? If you haven't, let me introduce you to Houston LaChapelle. Let me see whether your speaker can.
Science fair in Colorado, I met this 7-year-old girl, and I realized that she had a prosthetic leg. One motion will be closed and one sensor, and just this alone was $80,000.
When he was in 9th grade, he stopped him to say, "Ninth grade."
I really saw an opportunity to change this industry by creating a prosthetic that was under $1,000. Now, being 14, I really had no idea on how to even dive into it. I use Legos as plastic supports, small motors from airplanes, fishing line as the tendons, and electrical tubing for the fingers. I assembled a robotic hand.
It was exceptional to see that he was producing this in his bedroom.
And I'm shaking hands with myself now.
It's awe-inspiring. And each year it just gets more and more amazing. And when I think he just turned 19 years old.
He's 19 years old.
It's hard for me to fathom what's next.
Recently, I graduated high school and started a company called Illuminate Tomorrow, where a few of my friends and I were trying to change the world.
We're in Garage, Cortez, Colorado, which is a very small town, hours away from the nearest interstate. We are making robotic limbs to help people do things that they normally wouldn't be able to do.
My name is Rich Stewart. I'm 51 years old, and I was involved in an accident. High-pressure oxygen bottle exploded and lost my right arm immediately. I was fit with a prosthesis, hook, as everyone calls it. Now it's part of my identity.
Hey, pleasure to meet you. So I have a lot of cool stuff to show you, yeah. This hand is actually operated using your thoughts, using your brain. So we're doing about 12 different channels in your brain. I would love to have you try this and see if you can try and only focus on one thing.
It's a big deal for me. It could mean confidence, it could mean more ability. I could see this being something that could change my life.
$350.
Ladies and gentlemen, Easton LaChapelle. I'm here because I want to do something big. I can do a lot of things with what I've developed in the past 5 years. I can sell it, I can put it close to my chest, or I can realize it's bigger than just me. For that reason, I am very proud to announce, right here and right now, I'm releasing designs and software for my 3D printed robotic arm for free to the entire world by making this open source.
He's making his robotic free of charge for the world to use in the 3D printing.
No one person changes the world, it takes a lot of people. So if I can develop technology in a way so other people can take what I've done and grow from it and do something more with it, someone can take that and keep impacting someone else's life and eventually try and rule out a lot of bad in the world by giving back to our own time.
Yeah, so we're going to answer the question, but let me just finish off and wrap up. Can you just wrap up? We just want to wrap up by the end now. Empowerment so that you can realize your dreams and convert that to smart goals. Why is he successful? Because he has the right attitude. Yes. He has the focus. He's very serious. At what age he started to do that? I said just now, Form 2. What were you doing Form 2? Yeah, you're preparing for your PMT, whatever it is, right? How old is he when he got his robotic invention using Lego and that sort of things? 19. How old are you guys? Now ask yourself, what impact have I done to me, my family, my community, in terms of making the world a better place to stay? I ask myself that question, What did I do? What have I done when I was at that age? A conscious question that all of us have to ask ourselves, because our days in this world is not going to be long and forever. Easton LaChapelle have shown the patience of not giving up. He has obviously the mindset that positiveness thinking, and for all of us and for all of you, you have your prayer for you to overcome your obstacles. And when you are thinking of your goals, next, you think that you are in this position. I am in Intech 6th of January 2017. I have set my goal and my desire where I will be. Doesn't matter whether it's in Shah Alam or it's in Johor or it's in Dubai. but you are going to set that heart and make sure that you're going to live your dream. Now, in between, from where you are and from where you are going to be, you will have to empower yourself. You will need help from the lecturers who's going to give you the knowledge of how to be what you want to be. The knowledge is not going to be just in Shah Alam. You're going to move beyond Shah Alam. You're going to deepen and deep dive into much more detailed knowledge, so that then you continue to strengthen the power in yourself. Next, you're going to equip yourself with skills. I'm an engineer. I have to equip myself with the skills of how to connect with my technician. How do I make sure that the operations in the refinery does not blow out? That's the skill that you have to acquire. You do that, one of the skills that all the managers, all the future employers will be looking at is your leadership qualities. How do you get your leadership qualities? Your ECA, extracurricular activity, is going to be the one that's making or breaking. Because when you go to the university, I have only one job to offer, and there's 160 of you here asking for that job. How do you know I'm going to select the one that is the best? I need engineers. I need all the other professions. I need financial maverick to then do whatever they have to do. So, in a nutshell, So in a nutshell, what I wanted to emphasize is that your self-empowerment, as you have seen just now, is for you to take control, is for you to have that target. Now let me ask you now, where is the blank? Anyone is seeing the blank one? This one. Is there a blank one? Yeah. Okay. Juan, how much was this just now when you buy this thing? The whole packages. Berapa? 520 times 3, mathematician, how much is that? Say 15 ringgit. Then there's 100 pieces inside there. How much per piece? Sorry? 1.56 cents, including GST. Okay, it's 1.56 cents or 0.56 cents? How much is that? 0.56 cents, right? So it's only about 60 cents, the most. Okay, who's willing for me to buy this one? Can I take your? Would you mind giving it to me for good? Anyone wants to give me for good to me? 10 ringgit, 20 ringgit. CEO of Jacob, can I see yours? Can I take yours? How much are you willing to sell for me? So you guys have to look at that, you know, she's calculating it now, you know. Oh no, I want to buy from you. Yeah, your plate. Is it for sale? Anyone is for sale? Is it for sale? You keep it yourself, right? So it's not for sale. So it was only 60 cents just now, but now it's not for sale. Boys, anyone willing to sell? Are you keeping it? Okay, don't tell me just because I challenge you. Are you sure you want me to show it and put it in the internet for the world to know?
Yes.
That's right. You can do it.
No, wait, what?
I'm proving to you it was a mere 60-cent paper plate that was given to you, and now it is not for sale. Why? Because you have put yourself, your heart, your mind, your soul into this. If you're going to keep this, if you're going to throw this, it's really up to you. You're going to show it to your parents, to your lecturers, and please sign it so that then you will remember that when I visit Dubai, when I go to Paris, when I go to the rest of the world, I see this behind their back. Because one day, I remember that there was a man and a lady that came to Shah Alam and gave us the spirit of wanting to dream, wanting to have that dream convert to goals, wanting to make sure you equip your knowledge and skills, and to continue to stay focused. You have the choice. Therefore, the future Let me, before I go to that, before we go to that. So let's see. Do you now know how to have that real potential to do you discover yourself today? Yes. Did you? Now, how do you maintain that momentum? Did I share with you how do you maintain your momentum to be doctors? Engineers, have you gone to that like a museum of rocks? Do that. That's how you maintain the momentum of your goals. Start picking up the things that will help to build your knowledge, your skills. Doctors, whenever someone says that he or she is in pain or injured, you quickly come forward. Can I help you? Can I clean it? Use the right medication. That's where you start the journey and building your momentum. And from there you know that you can discover you have that potential. And you get up from the comfort zone because you want to know you yourself is the one that have that ability. Comfort zone is up to you. I'm telling you, all of us are so relaxed in a comfort zone. This is the zone that we would like to stay. We are very complacent in this comfort zone. You need to push yourself to where what I call the risk zone. It's very risky. You don't know whether you can do it. But Richie Parker proved to himself, without arms, he's the best computer application engineer, vehicle engineer. The one that I wanted to advise is that you don't go beyond the risk zone, which is called the panic zone. Because then you will not be able to discover who you are. And the limit is up to you. I told you just now, you want to become a doctor and then you want to become a specialist in ONG. But you can stop there or you can move beyond to become the oncologist in special children, in children having handicap, special kids, autism, dyslexic. There's a whole range of knowledge that yet to be discovered. I told my children, it is not the sky that is the limit. When you reach that limit, you push the sky to another boundaries and set a new limit. I wish, and for me, both me and my wife, we have gone through this journey for about more than 5 decades. You are starting and beginning this. You've seen the proof that Easton Lachapelle, with the help of the teachers and their lecturers, proving to be what he wants to be, and he is impacting the world. I salute you for being what you want to be. I pray that you will be what you want to be. And I hope that you will persevere and sincerely hold deep into your heart that you are going to prove to yourself that this dream is achievable. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mr. Ahmad Fakri and Madam Jamalia for their inspirational talk. Okay, there's an open floor for any questions. There's a Q&A session, basically. So does anyone have any questions? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Sir, can you explain to us more about the panic zone? If you're actually into that kind of situation. Yeah, that's all.
You know when you are in panic zone because you do not have the necessary skills or the knowledge to be able to do it. Your job is to expand that risk zone to this panic zone by not getting to know more. But the minute you know you are unable to do what you can do, then the next thing is to escalate to those who know. Seek the experts. Find from people who knows how to get it done. And you can speak to your friends and colleagues as a start to unblock those issues. But the first thing to do is stay calm. Don't panic. Yeah? Stay calm, don't panic, because why? The minute you panic, your brain is really in a roller coaster mode. You can't think straight. And whenever you can't get, if I ask you to speak, come forward, you will get panic, right? So can you come forward and speak now? No, you can't. Because if you do, can you do that? Huh? No, you don't. Because you get panic, right? Because the first thing to do is to remain calm. When my daughter gave a speech, because she does quite a lot of presentation, in fact she compared during the Dr. Mahathir when he came. So when he gets into this panic mode, so I asked her the first thing to do is control your breathing mechanism. Take a deep breath because you're breathing short now because you're panicking, you're gasping for air. Take that moment. Take a deep breath. Now everybody now you can start doing this. You can take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, take a deep breath. Hold 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let go. I'm giving oxygen to your brain. One more try. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let go. I mean, you arrive at the examination hall, you open the page, and you got panic because you did not read that particular chapter. It happened to the lecturers also when they were studying once upon a time, and me. But it's okay. It's okay. I have not defined any problems that I faced as a failure. I have defined it as a different learning experience. For me to learn from it so that I'm sure that I will not repeat it again. Is that okay? Are you panicked? No. Because there's no reason to be panicked. Any more questions? No more guys? Ladies, do you have any question? You're cool now? Okay, thank you very much.
Now I'd like to invite our head coordinator of A-levels, Ms. Laili Marlina, to present gifts to our guests as token of appreciation.
We are almost coming to an end of the event, but then before that, remember you took the evaluation form? Okay, students, you have to fill in the evaluation form now, and lecturers, you have your evaluation form in the file, so you have to fill in that as well. And then there's a scale on your opinion on this talk today, so please give a scale within 5 to 4. 5 is very good, 4 and 3, 2, 1. So 1 is like if you're not happy about this talk today. Alright, and do give me your comments and feedbacks if you have any.